Okay. This has been a fucking nightmare. Getting this shit to work. For the record, Potter. Yeah, I don't know why motherfuckers every now and then just have to update their shit and be like, let's change it completely. Okay, great. So Facebook, so I tested it and now it's already fucking up. Their shit and be like, let's change it completely. Okay, great. So Facebook, so I tested it and now it's already fucking up. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Facebook. It was fine earlier. Alright, so either it's going to work or it's not. I don't really get a lot of viewers on Facebook anyways, so we'll just say fuck you, Facebook, for now and keep the chat open. And if, because here's the other thing is I can't tell if it's on my end or if the viewer's end is seeing this shit as well. Because there's times where shit looks fine on my end and it's all fucky on the viewer's end, and then vice versa. So I can't really tell. Hamzi, welcome. Hey, Hamzi, since you're watching the vertical version, if it gets all fucky, let me know, will you? Because I'm having a lot of issues streaming lately. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so now TikTok is fucky. Fantastic. Like, this update basically made me start all the fucking way over. You got here by luck? Yeah, that's happening more and more. TikTok isn't giving notifications to people that they view as anti-Trump. All right, we're just gonna close TikTok Studio, and we're gonna reopen it. Ah, here we go. Well, okay. As soon as I found the setting, then it fucked off because, of course. Doodle doo. Betty Belcher, Betwixt a Rock, welcome. Yeah, it looks fine on Insta so far. Yeah, okay, so we'll see if it stays that way. And now Caster Labs is not working. Motherfucker. Boy, this is not fun. Gotta say it. And now Caster Labs plugin is not working. Great. So I have to check the goddamn chats individually. You're rizzing. Nice, dude. All right. Congratulations, Hamzi. Respect your game. Yeah, see, now it's... Now it's all fucky. So it's fine on... Yeah, it's delay. It's glitchy on Twitch. It's buffering on Twitch. So YouTube is just totally botched. So interesting. I was having trouble. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Hi, EG. Well, right now, Hamzi, the topic of the day is me not being able to get this fucking shit to work. I just tested it not 10 minutes before you got here, and everything was working fine. Now it's all fucked up. Okay, I'm gonna see if that helps. YouTube main. TikTok seems fine. But I'm still not getting the integration of chat. Something went wrong. Oh, God. Alright, let's try something. I got another idea. It's fuck you, Asaurus, relative of the Rage Betasaurus. Yeah, that seems to be what's happening here. Ugh. I don't know why it's saying something went wrong. Let me see. I don't get a pop-up on my phone. Yeah, it's fine on Instagram, which is nice. So I at least got Instagram. It's just so funny. I got Instagram vertical working, which was the one that I was having trouble with yesterday. Sharon Monica, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. So you're not catching me in better times. I'm having some issues. If it doesn't work, you didn't punch it hard enough. Don't fucking tempt me. I'm telling you, man. Do not tempt me. All right, I'm just gonna plow forward because this is fucking insane. Okay, now it's working. Twitch is really choppy. Fuck, dude. Great. What if you're anti-fascist without the anti, so you're a Nazi? So why is it that all the other platforms are fine, but Twitch is now the problem? Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to cancel Instagram and Facebook. See if that frees up some bandwidth since no one joins there anyway. Facebook output, turn off. Hang in there, Corzin. I'm trying, dude. I'm really trying, man. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying my little heart out. Okay, so we cancel that, cancel that. So in theory, that should free up some bandwidth, and that should take care of Twitch being less choppy. So let's start there. Yes, Maddie, you said it was your birthday already. Yes, Maddie, you said it was your birthday already. Okay, good. So my audio, Hamzi, does my audio seem fine there? Okay, YouTube main is just totally borked. So we're going to shut you down. I don't get it. So we're going to try to relaunch YouTube main. I think I did that just one time because I turned... Hamzi, have you heard me repeat myself multiple times? Oh, great. Fan-fucking-tastic. I don't even know what the problem is with audio. My bitrate's 128. That should be fine. Two or three times? Okay, let me know if it happens again. Okay, so in theory, I think I can start now. In theory. Well, here goes nothing. I mean, what can I say? I gotta do one more thing here. Boy, this is really frustrating. Abdul El Sayed winning is not a good thing for DSA. Could not disagree with you more. What are your opinions on cleavage in the workplace? Who in the hell asked that on a TikTok live stream about politics? The DNC is setting him up to lose the midterms. The DNC is not setting him up. The DNC is the one trying to destroy him, while the DSA are the ones trying to pick him up. Your logic is completely perverse. Inside loses, they'll use him to crush the Zoran wave. That's my theory. He won the Democratic primary. That doesn't mean he'll win the state. Yeah, and the same thing could be said for Haley Stevens. You're talking completely hypotheticals, except Sayed actually has charisma, and Haley Stevens has whatever in the hell the opposite of charisma is. She makes J.D. Vance look charismatic. Okay. All right. In theory, I'm making progress. In theory. All right. What a fucking nightmare this has been. Oh my god, man. Okay, so how do I fucking edit this shit? Is there really no way to edit this? Oh wait, I know. Oh Jesus bloody H Christ. All right, well sure, let's start all over. Fucking hell. Okay. So again, in theory, it's gonna work this time. Holy fucking hell. Jesus, makes me never want to fucking stream again. Sound like Neil deGrasse Tyson when you say, in theory, it'll work. Hey, are you a communist? What is your opinion about fascism? 1, no, and 2, kill all the fascists. There you go. Yesterday, I landed on a stream of someone. Their chat we're tearing Muslims apart, and he was reacting to Trump's speech, and he said his hair is nice. Dude, what is up with that thing of Trump's hair? Somebody got overnight surgery in the mail. It does not look good. I usually use Jesus, Hussein, Christ. That's really gets the losers going. I'm gonna remember that one. Okay. In theory, we can start. Holy hell, man. Jesus. I'm 50 years old and I just heard punk rock. What'd you think of it? Okay. Holy God, can I get to the news now? Fuck me sideways. It's not fucking working. Look at the blank fucking screen. God fucking damn it. Holy shitballs. Oh my God. I have been fighting with this fucking setup for 24 hours straight now. Holy hell. And I still don't have it all fixed. If I find out that my internet downgraded me again for no fucking reason, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. Okay. So, to get back on topic, El Sayed won. there has been some positive signs that the Democrats are actually going to unite around El Sayed. So, I talked about this yesterday, how AIPAC is threatening to go over to the Republicans, as they always would, because they've always been a Republican organization. They're not a America organization. They are in favor of a pedophile terrorist state by the name of Israel. So, why the fuck are we taking their money? Abdul's wife doesn't accept Medicare? No shit, they're probably on a private plan. Man, you really thought you fucking cooked with that one, too. El Sayed, I want to make healthcare I already covered this one last week or yesterday. So, here's the other thing, is that the MAGA pedo party is trying to push the anti-Semitism card on El Sayed when all he's ever said is that Israel, which is not the Jewish religion or the Jewish people, it is a government run by racist, terrorists, and pedophiles, most notably Benjamin Netanyahu. And they're trying to say that El Sayed is an anti-Semite when he's saying that Jewish people have a right to self-determination, as do Palestinians. He had a very good quote on that the other day. So, the real answer is that Donald Trump is the one who, by the way, has quoted Hitler, said he admires Hitler, has said he has read Mein Kampf. I actually don't believe that last one because he can't fucking read. Meanwhile, he's also dined with Holocaust denier and pedophile supporter Nick fucking Fuentes. That's right, Nick Fuentes, the same Nick Fuentes who has said that Jeffrey Epstein is based, the same Nick Fuentes who has been in love with Hitler and who would go full gay for him if it wouldn't have been punished by death back in the 1930s. And is a Holocaust denier. That's who Donald Pedophile Trump is supporting. Good thing we didn't elect Abdul's wife. Good point. Medicare for all. Well, that's the plan. He was straight up glazing the orange guy in his chat. We're like, oh, Muslims this, Muslims that. But I mean, it's all a deflection because Trump is losing the Iran war. He's a pedophile. It's in the Epstein files, so he has to deflect. And the biggest thing he can deflect is with bigotry. There was actually a speech yesterday that some Republican gave in defense of a police officer that had been killed in Las Vegas, if I remember correct. And they booed him because he had a Muslim-sounding name. That kind of goes to show just how deep the bigotry goes. It goes, the few things will punch through the back the blue bullshit more than MAGA bigotry. There's two things that will punch through the back the blue bullshit. One being a Muslim-sounding name because they're bigots, and two being support for finding out who is in the Epstein files and jailing them because Trump is the main pedophile in the Epstein files and belongs in jail. And June asked El Sayed about ours potentially using his whole name or the fact that his brother is named Osama against him. His answer, I hope that they will. Yeah, my name is Abdul. I'll say the whole thing. Abdul Rahman Muhammad El Sayed, and I want you to have health care because you know what? Chances are you probably had a doctor you trust with a name like mine. And also, chances are people are going to want health care a hell of a lot more than they'll give a fuck about his name being Abdul Rahman. Like, when you're dying and you need to see a fucking doctor, I don't think the biggest problem is going to be that the person giving you healthcare is named Abdul Rahman. Just a fucking guess. I also love how he's doing what Mamdani did with his, Muslim-sounding name, is that he's embracing it, right? He's making it a strength because the MAGA pedo party is going to try to use that against it. Whereas if you run from it, if you were to run from his name and he would pull a Ted Cruz or something, right? Then it would look like he's hiding it, right? He's trying to hide it. He's a closet Muslim. J.D. Vance and Mike Pence are both closet gays, but Abdul Rahman is a closet Muslim. He'd try to hide it, whereas this way he's embracing it, putting it out there in your face and say, yes, this is my name. Do you fucking want health care or not? You do? Great. Come join me. It's that fucking simple. My name is Muhammad. Doesn't sound that Muslim, does it? Not at all, Hamzi. No way. No, that's like Jerry, That sounds no different than like Jack or Mark or Tom. It's the same thing. I would never get hired because they would think I'm going to be late every day. I don't get it. Out of network? You guys are having a completely different conversation. I have no idea what's going on. his name as Abdullah, meaning servant of God in Arabic. But Hamzi, it's Abdul Rahman. Is that different than Abdullah? I mean, well, it is. It's spelled different. It's not the same thing, is it? It's different names. Prepare for an insane explosion of Islamophobia between now and November from the same people on the right and center who pretend to be exercised by the rise in anti-Jewish bigotry. The hate will be off the charts and make the anti-Zoran campaign playbook look tame. Mark my words. Subtle stuff from the NRSC. Having referred to him up to this point as Abdul El Sayed, in his press releases, the committee this morning goes with Abdul Rahman Mohammed El Sayed. This is also an incredibly important moment for solidarity, because the fascists aren't just going to stop with Abdul Rahman. They're not just going to stop with trans people. They're not just going to stop with gay people. They're not just going to stop with the Jews. They're going to go after everybody, which is why it's so crucial to support Palestinians, to support trans people, to support gay people, and to support our Jewish brothers and sisters. Everything is tied together. If you go after one of these things, the fascists find that fucking weak point, and then that weak point they use as a further wedge to divide and conquer, because then, let's say they start with well, let's take it Nazi Germany, for example. One of the first people they started with were the gypsies. Nobody cared, right? The gypsies were typically kind of transient people, moving from place to place, drifters. They didn't care much about them. Then they moved to mentally ill people, people like myself. And again, there was no support system for mentally ill people. Some of them had support, some of them didn't. A lot of them died on the streets. So the Nazis would just pick them up and become their little playthings in their experiments. And again, nobody fucking cared. So then they moved on from there to trans people, to gay people, to Jewish people. And then by then it was this giant fucking snowball that couldn't be stopped. Every single human right that you sacrifice for the fascists, they will then play that card against the others. Because by the time the Nazis could go for the Jews, they could say to gay people, hey, look at how we treated them. Either join us or we're going to do the same to you. And this is the Ernst Röhm Award, because Ernst Röhm did that exact same thing. He turned in Jewish people, he turned in gay people, he turned them, enemies of the Nazi state. And then, guess what? He also got axed. Didn't fucking save him. So this is why this moment in solidarity for everybody, for all human rights people, is the same. And we have to stand up for their rights to exist, except for the MAGA pedophiles. They can all be put to jail. Like that, they don't fucking matter. Hear nothing, see nothing, hilarious. TikTok is being extremely weird today. Rahman is merciful, which is one of the 99 names of Allah. You should react to that. Well, but I'm confused, Tomzy, because his name is Abdul Rahman. So you're saying Abdullah, servant of God, the merciful? Is that Abdul Rahman? Is that kind of what you're saying it means? Big audience tonight. Thanks, Voter ID. I'm glad I could waste your time. Please stay more triggered. Don't go anywhere, though, because I got a lot of shit to say to you. The biggest thing that I want to say to you is that, by the way, you're scared, Voter ID. Trump is on the Epstein list. You know why? Because Donald Trump is a pedophile. Trump is on the Epstein Voter ID.Save America supports pedophiles. You heard it here first, everybody. Voter ID.Save America supports a pedophile that's not in not one pedo cabal, but two. You thought it was just the Epstein files? Donald Trump is also the pedophile featured most prominently in the Tate cabal, who has tried to free them and has been successful freeing them in Romania to bring them to America just to get arrested again while they were continuously raping and trafficking children. That is the kind of people that Voter ID.Save America supports. So, if anything, his whole platform as Voter ID is just a pedo cabal scam. This is why you never, ever, ever trust Republicans. Moving on from Voter ID.Save America, the pedophile supports the Epstein and Tate pedo cabals. In June, I asked El Sayed. Oh, I already read that. I already read that too. The co-founder of the Uncommitted movement, which shook up the 2024 Democratic primaries, is now going to be a Michigan state senator. This has been amazing to see because so many of the, for example, Daria Liza Chevalier, her name is. She was a encampment activist at Columbia, and she was attacked, she was arrested, she was persecuted for standing up for peace and Palestinian rights. And now she is going to be a House member for New York City, or excuse me, the state of New York, rather. And we're seeing this more and more, is that that movement, which was barely 5 years ago, has now switched, and these people are now becoming leaders. This is an incredible turnaround that can't quite think of a previous precedent for. So now we have the same thing with this co-founder of the uncommitted movement, which was a factor in the Democratic primaries that the Democrats ignored and lost because the Democrats are fucking stupid, and the Trump was able to use them as a wedge to stay at home and or vote for Trump. And he's now going to be a Michigan state senator. This is an incredible turnaround. So this is, speaking of, Dareliza Avila Chevalier, the person who is the Colombian candidate, they're now saying her entry into the Black Caucus isn't a guarantee. Not if she doesn't support Hakeem along with other issues, one senior member told Axios. This person should not be granted anonymity, by the way. Another said DAC absolutely will not be welcome if she doesn't support Hakeem. This is so fucking stupid of the Black Caucus. Hakeem Jeffries has been a horrible fucking leader that has capitulated, that has stood down, that has rolled the fuck over at every goddamn opportunity, and has refused to fight back against these Nazi pedo-fascists. Supporting him right now is one of the worst fucking things you could do, next to just simply handing Trump the keys to the kingdom, which they can't because the Democratic establishment already fucking did. We want fucking fighters. We don't want measly-mouthed little pansies who aren't going to do fucking shit. And now the Black Caucus is going to keep a strong black woman out because she doesn't support a guy who supports a fucking genocide? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, who in the Black Caucus thinks that the genocide overseas is just going to stay there? How many times in history do we have to fucking see that these wars, these imperialist conquests that are done overseas come back home to oppress the people at home? It always fucking happens. They should know. They do know this. And yet they're falling into the same fucking trap. They've gotten into the comfort, the entrapments of the wealth, the entrapments of the prestige, the entrapments of the grandiosity of their office and their ego, and they think, oh, well, that's not going to happen to me. That'll happen to other people. It's not going to happen to me. Well, guess what? It's going to fucking happen to you. Because where do you think this fucking train ends? It doesn't end in D.C. It ends in fucking Auschwitz. Get your fucking shit together, CBC. Holy shit. You can call God Allah, the Merciful, the Mighty, etc. He has 99 names which all refer to him, and their titles, Abdullah, Abdul Rahman, Abdul Aziz, Abdul Jabbar, are all servant of God. Oh, interesting. So they're kind of like the the disciples of Jesus, because there was Paul, Elijah. Well, Elijah was the prophet. Oh my God, my Bible study is really failing me right now. Now, this is also an incredible sign for the midterms. So Trump endorsed this guy, Amir Hassan, who was running against Thomas J. Smith, who suspended his campaign weeks ago, and the dude endorsed by Trump in a Trump +2 district lost. This is big. And it wasn't a small margin either. I mean, this is a difference of 8,000 votes. What is it, about 16% difference? This is not exactly a small fucking margin. And the guy lost. This is going to... It's also funny, the New York Times couldn't get a headshot of the guy. So as Molly Jongfast points out, not a great sign for the Trump endorsement. It's really not. It's showing that he is he's a lame duck before there's even a lame duck season. And this is why these Democrats that want to just sit on their laurels and say, well, we just need to let Trump be Trump and people are going to hate him. And no, you need to fucking get out there. You need to get out the vote. You need to fight for those votes. This kind of complacency, this learned cowardly helplessness that we see from the Democratic establishment is exactly what got us with Hillary and with Kamala. where they just sat back and let him do his things, and then they worked behind the scenes, pretentiously telling Republicans, oh, when we win, we'll still make deals with you. You'll still be in charge. Fuck that. No Republicans in charge ever again, for Christ's sakes. Are you kidding me? Remember when Hillary was going around to Republicans to Mitch McConnell, and I think it was Boehner at the time, and was saying that to them, hey, it's okay. It's okay. When we win, we'll let you stay in power, just long as you work with us, okay? What the fuck? Why would you work with people who have shown they have complete, utter contempt for democracy? And not only that, but are willing to break the Constitution to put you, Hillary, you, Kamala, you, James Comey, which they're doing right now, in jail. Why the fuck would you want to work with Republicans? The only time you should work with Republicans is if they are turning states' evidence against other Republicans. That is the only fucking time. Do you think there's Charlie Kirk's tomb somewhere in Arizona? Are you paying no attention to the shit that I'm talking about, brother? What the fuck? How is your day? How do you go about your day? Does someone come up to you at the water cooler at work and is like, man, the boss is really on something today? And you're like, you know, I ate a donut this morning. Like, what the fuck, dude? That's not what we're talking about. Focus. I meant the names Null, People, Abdul, which is Abdul, means servant of, and you can use one of the nine. I can say, oh Allah, or Allah Bar, or Allah Aziz, meaning almost merciful, Almighty. Two GOP, this is also another sign that the Republicans, I feel, are really in for it in the midterms. Two GOP-backed ballot measures in Kansas and Missouri look like they're headed for defeat tonight. These are not exactly purple states. The purple state of Kansas and Missouri. Yes, Missouri, the great state that voted for Bill Clinton. Did it vote for Bill Clinton? Somehow I don't think so, but I could be wrong. But I mean, again, when was the last time either of these states didn't fucking vote for Obama? I can tell you that much. They're not exactly swing states. They're not exactly purple states. They're pretty reliably Republican. And yet, Republican-backed measures are starting to fail. This measure, proposed by the Republican legislature, would require citizen-initiated amendment to the state constitution to win in each of the state's 8 congressional districts to pass, rather than passing by a simple statewide majority. So basically, it's kind of like some sort of a pseudo-filibuster, it looks like. And the people aren't falling for it. It's interesting. Why are these? So it's like the most rural parts outside of the big cities. What the fuck is that all about? I'm sure there's some tactical. This is where all the evangelical pedophiles, you know, do their child sex cult worship shit before murdering a goat. Kansas Amendment 1 election results require elections for state Supreme Court. Now, this is a very interesting one that got voted down. This measure, introduced by Republicans, frustrated by the appointed court's support of abortion rights, seeks to overhaul the way Kansas Supreme Court justices are selected. If passed, the 7 justices would no longer be appointed by the governor and would instead be elected to 6-year terms. So, the Republicans in Kansas were trying to basically fix the system in Kansas, so this way they would have shorter sentences shorter terms rather, not really sentences, and could then be replaced anytime they support abortion rights, which is of course, you know, one of the extremist views of the Republican pedo party. So the people even voted that down. That's Kansas is fucking weird, okay? Like, reliably red state, ass fucking backwards, doesn't believe in taxing the billionaires because, you know, fucking corn farmers are clearly going to become trillionaires any day now. Well, we just got to make sure we don't get another Dust Bowl. And all those tax benefits are going to come our way, and we're going to be millionaires into billionaires into trillionaires into quadrillionaires. Yeah, okay, keep telling yourself that, Grandpa. Let's get you back to bed. And yet they have consistently, reliably voted against these Republican-backed amendments and measures that have been anti-abortion. It's fucking fascinating, and there needs to be a political study on that. Also, Another sign of deeply unpopular Republican pedo party initiatives. The Republicans are trying to embrace the big tech billionaire Epstein class, right? So they're giving them just carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want with data centers, which, of course, eat up all our electricity, become a national security threat because they can destabilize our electrical grid, and, of course, can completely destroy the environment by drinking up all the water, making people die of dehydration. Yet, even Greg fucking Abbott, that fascist Gestapo-loving piece of shit who never stands for the Pledge of Allegiance, has ordered an audit of Texas data centers. Do you know how crazy and unpopular data centers have to be before Greg fucking Abbott, the guy who supports Ken Paxton, a person who let a pedophile run loose onto the streets of Texas? Do you understand how fucking bad it has to be? Like, Abbott is like, guy who supports pedophiles, yeah, I'm all in. I like this guy. Data centers, whoa! Whoa! Put your pants on, Mr. Data Center. Like, that has to be fucking insane for that to happen. Speaking of, we have a trigger mega pedophile, Full Michael Jacket 70. You are a pedophile. Donald Trump is in the Epstein list, bitch. You will be Nuremberg. Take your ass to jail. Line you up on that motherfucking wall. When you go to jail, we gonna ball. Get your sentence up. Send you away for life. While you're sitting there, we gonna have no strike. Anyway, that was fun. I gotta do more freestyle. That's something I haven't done in a long-ass time. Page 1 in Austin. The move appears to be an effective pause on most new data center projects. Hashtag Texas. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So, Tom Tillis, another Republican pedo party member, has been yapping a lot about, but we need to stop doing the both sides thing. We need to come together in the middle and stop pointing fingers at the Democrats who are always being mean and such meanie heads, and they're just mean to me. This guy is a whiny little bitch. Perfect timing, you chud magnet. LOL. Welcome, Snarly Sue. Welcome, my friend. Haven't seen you in a while.
You know, the thing that interests me, and I'm kind of curious about the speeches that come after here, is how everybody has this view of they are as pure as the driven snow, and it's the other side that has a problem. I think we both have a problem, folks. If you want to talk about weaponization, take a look at the Biden administration. Take a look at the Obama administration. Take a look at Crossfire Hurricane. Take a look at the codes that Lois Lerner used in the IRS to target businesses to try and unbank them.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. He's like, we need to look at how both sides have a problem with weaponization. Like how the Democrats didn't go after Trump even though Merrick Garland had all the proof in the public order and he could have done it. Like how the Democrats could have just jailed Trump entirely before the election based on what they knew from Crossfire Hurricane, but they chose not to and let the election go forward anyway. And then even after they had the election, they still didn't charge Trump, even though they had more than enough evidence that he was a crime. It's both sides doing it, you guys. Like, he's just making up the dumbest fucking shit and exposing why people hate this kind of crap in Congress. He wants to fucking spout his horse shit about how both sides have a problem and then only point out the other side. Yeah, Mr. Tillis, your leader is a fucking child rapist. Yeah, I don't know if this has gotten through that fucking cotton-colored, empty fucking head of yours where you look like your fucking temple is concaved from a fucking wrench thrown across a garage, but guess what? Donald Trump is a fucking pedophile.
Take a look at the prospective pardons on the way out the door that President Biden did for...
Which Donald Trump did as well, by the way, and this bitch doesn't want to talk about that, does he?
...family members, for staff members in Congress. The bottom line is nobody is clean here. And until we start recognizing this behavior as bad, we're just going to one-up it. Maybe it's a little bit more intense in this administration than the last one, and that a little bit more intense than the prior administration, and so on and so forth. But folks, we've got to end this stuff. We do. I'm going to support Mr. Blanch's nomination.
Ah, there it is. There it is. It's payback time for all the jailing the Democrats didn't do because they're fucking wimps and cowards. Yeah, we got to get those Democrats back for not actually pushing and actually jailing Trump. We need to do that. We need to do that. Even though he got 34 counts and they were too chicken shit to actually sentence him and pushed everything off until the election when he got back in power and could just dismiss all the elections. We need to get back at those Democrats who did these do-nothing Democrats. Fucking stupid. Why is he rapping low-key? Grandpa still has it. All he has is rhyming. Hey, I do what I can. Rhyming, and I got my timing.
But what I hope I see out of him is a bending of the curve of this absurdity.
Yeah, so it's just pure power politics. And this is something the Democrats don't get and don't do enough of, right? Again, if they wanted power politics, they would have backed El Sayed even more than they're doing now. But we still have people supporting AIPAC, a foreign terrorist organization, that are wanting to destroy Abdul El Sayed's campaign. Republicans would never do that. They understand the power of party the power of party politics and the numbers game. If they see a chance for a seat pickup, they're going to go for it. They're going to go fucking gung-ho. And same thing with, look at Andy Bashar right now, for example, in Kentucky. Mitch McConnell is clearly dead, if he's not just brain dead, right? And they are stalling so that they don't have to see a special election because the Republicans are afraid. Because of that special election, that is a risk that the Democrats might pick up that seat. So Andy Bashar, doing typical centrist bullshit, is like, well, we got to have Mr. Mitch McConnell give us a proof of life. If he doesn't give us a proof of life, then I'm just going to have to sit here and keep asking him. I'm just going to have to waggle my finger. And you know what? If he still doesn't do it, I might then just upgrade and wring my hands. And you know what? If he doesn't do that, I'm going to go down to JCPenney and get the first pearl necklace, put it around my neck, and I'm going to clutch those pearls if I don't find out if Mitch McConnell is alive or not. God damn it. That's the fucking centrist establishment position. You would never see that against with Republicans. Mitch McConnell would have immediately appointed a successor or initiated a special election the day that he found, the third day that someone had not reported for work, motherfucker would have started that process. And by the way, Mitch McConnell has been out now for 7 weeks. 7 weeks this motherfucker has not been seen or heard from and has missed a bunch of fucking votes, which is 1 week more than we give women coming off of pregnancy. It's an insane system, and it needs to be completely dismantled, abolished, destroyed, and rebuilt. Not you, him. I know, Humsey. I know. McConnell's just working from home while he recovers from death. Yeah, I can't make it to work today. I got a really bad case of being in hell. I can't. See, what happened is Satan stabbed my homework. Yeah, Cerberus ate my other bit of homework. So I'm not going to make it into work today. Also, satellite reception isn't very good down here in hell. So I don't know when I'll be able to hear from you again. So, bye. Click. Keep those paychecks coming, though. Thanks, bye. So Adam Classfeld accurately says this. Let's be objective about this. There was never an atom of evidence that Biden directed or influenced any case brought by his DOJ, including those against Trump. There are mountains of evidence of Trump personally directing and influencing cases by his DOJ underlings. This is the crucial point, because Biden went out of his way to not talk to Merrick Garland. I mean, anytime they had a cabinet meeting, Biden would sit down and be like, Merrick, we can't be. He was like he was having a cheating affair with Merrick Garland. He's like, Merrick, you can't be seen here. God dang it! If we're seen together, Jill's gonna know. Jill's gonna know that we're seeing each other. We can't be seen in public. God, come on. What is this? What are we doing? Merrick, you gotta go. You can't be in here. I don't want to ever see you in the White House again. Come on. Let's be serious. Meanwhile, Trump, the moment he fucking got in charge, he's like, we need to completely axe CNN. I want Jim Comey's head on a spike on top of the White House. We're going to do it. The UFC will fight under his bloody falling head. We're going to do it, folks. And he did exactly that. Seriously, he's directing Jeanine Pirro. He directed, what was that blonde dumbass's name? Oh, my God. Pam Bondi. He's yapping with them. And there's you could also see how corporate media is in on it. Because the amount of coverage they give to those two specific issues, they treat Biden doing nothing, literally, as a bigger scandal, but they frame it like he's weaponizing the Justice Department. Meanwhile, Trump goes on fucking CNN and says, the other day I talked to Pam Bondi. She came up to me with tears in her eyes, and she said, sir, we're doing everything we can, but the 250-foot gash, we can't find it. It's Antifa. So, naturally, my first instinct was to jail Joe Biden. And they don't treat that as a scandal. What about the 200 canceled Trump CNN accounts due to money laundering fears? Yeah, where's the corporate media on that? Where's the corporate media on that? Because it's fucking rigged. The Epstein file implicates just as many people at the top of corporate media and in top of Wall Street and in top of all the fucking corporations. And the Republicans have said it, right? They've said, if we go after Epstein, the entire system will collapse. I need you to, come here real quick. I need you to look at me. If going after Epstein means that the entire system will collapse, I don't know how to break it to you, but good! Bring it fucking down! If the entire system is built on a pedo cabal that is above the law, that system does not deserve to exist. Bring it down! I want you to bring it down like you're using the fucking Force, like Yoda or Dooku bringing the ceiling down on Yoda. Fucking do it. Bring the goddamn system down. Rumors says Hitler was having a conversation with Mitch in hell and Mitch suddenly froze mid-sentence. Yeah. And that's when Hitler blew his brains out. Senator Tillis unfortunately did what I expected. He dodged a meeting with the survivors of Epstein. Despite agreeing to meet on camera last week, they waited in his office for 45 minutes with his aides until they were informed that he was not coming. Again, we were just talking about this. Because the new Attorney General nominee, Todd Blanche, a pedophile supporter, was supposed to meet with the Epstein survivors. He bailed. Not only did he bail, he left them hanging just like this. Completely inappropriate. And then Tom Tillis did the exact same fucking thing to the Epstein survivors. These Epstein survivors went through hell and back to tell us the truth of an international pedo cabal running the country and the world. They put their life and safety on the line so that America could be better informed. And how did we repay them? By putting the pedophile that was the best friends with Epstein in the White House. Stay classy, America. Stay classy. Hold on, I gotta clip this shit. It's gotten to the point I gotta make sure that I timestamp these. And this is just incredibly... When the next Democratic person in charge would do an amazing service to this country if they gave these Epstein survivors the Medal of the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's the highest civilian honor you can get. That's what these women deserve. After what they've been through, after what they've risked, after what they've told us, yes, they absolutely fucking deserve it. So, Joe Kent, he was the former counterterrorism official that, if you recall, left before he left during Trump last year, if I recall, because he was upset about the war in Iran. And it goes to show, and again, Thomas Massey also is a great example of this. He had his picture taken with Mike Flynn, the terrorist pedophile supporter himself that was one of the key architects of the January 6th terrorist attack. He got his picture taken with that guy and said he's been a huge fan of Mike Flynn. Why are you a fan of a terrorist? Why are you a fan of a pedophile supporter? Why are you a fan of these people? Mike Flynn is a coward, a liar, a fraud who had to sue public citizens into silence because he's too much of a bitch to face and to actually show up in court. And then when he doesn't show up in court, those very same Americans that he sues to stay silent, those judges won't give the citizens their attorney's fees. That's insane. Every single one of these judges should be primaried, and they should be added to the list to be Nuremberg. I'm not even kidding. Every single fucking one of them. If you can see a frivolous lawsuit brought by someone with money, power, and status against a poor fucking civilian, and then the guy who brought the lawsuit doesn't even show up to the fucking trial, and you refuse to award him attorney's fees, yeah, you are the problem. You should absolutely be Nuremberg. Because I guarantee you, that motherfucker is a part of the system that is protecting the Epstein pedophiles. It's true. You look at his ruling record. I guarantee you, other victims of rape, other victims of sex abuse, other victims of child rape that went before that guy showed more sympathy to the rapist than he ever would against the people. So yeah, that guy should be taken to Nuremberg as well. Now, as I'm saying here, what this all ties in with is Joe Kent. At the end of the day, Joe Kent, Thomas Massie, they are still Republicans. They are not good people. They are truly evil. Just because you agree with them on one thing, you understand that one thing doesn't change who they are. They are not suddenly heroes. They're not suddenly good people. They don't suddenly have a soul. They are still vapid, empty, power-hungry cretins and will do anything to get power again and keep the working class down. Joe Kent is the latest example. For example, he says Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Thomas Massie are hoping to build a new political movement or a third party built around opposition to U.S. wars. Tucker Carlson is a Nazi. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Nazi. And Thomas Massie is, again, a Republican getting his picture taken with pedophile supporter and the main architect of the terrorist attack on January 6th, Mike Flynn. And he want to ally with these two Nazis in order to create a new political party. Okay, sure, that's going to happen. I believe it. With the initial goal of fielding a candidate for the 2028 party built around opposition to U.S. wars, AIPAC, and corporate money, with the initial goal of fielding a candidate for the 2028 presidential campaign. Let's see. What
it was at Tucker Carlson's home. You're in there with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, Tucker. What was this? There is word that you're all planning, as Marjorie Taylor Greene put it, a new political movement. Could this involve establishing a new party?
So that was yesterday. Today we're back together again on the Young Turks instead of Piers Morgan. So Joe, tell us, could it potentially be a new third party?
It certainly could. I mean, when I got together with Tucker, with Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene, as we were just kind of comparing notes, most of us came to the conclusion that most Americans that we talk to, they're sick of the Republicans. They're sick of the Democrats. Now, most of us, have been in Trump world for quite some time. All of us kind of had our own, break, to put it politely, with the Trump administration. And even a lot of like hardcore Trump supporters right now, they feel very betrayed. I mean, one of the core tenets of President Trump's agenda was no more endless wars. I became a Trump supporter in 2016 when Trump went after Jeb Bush on the debate stage, because I served and fought in Iraq, lost lots of friends there. We have all come to our own conclusions that, look, this is not working. And the confines of the traditional Republican Party, the traditional Democrat Party, most people are just sick of that. And so we do think that there is, I would say, from, a lot of your viewers, from people who find themselves, more on the left, people who find themselves more on the right, we don't think the current political system is working just because of the results on the ground. No matter who we vote for, we get another war in the Middle East. No matter who we vote for, AIPAC and these major donors, most of whom most Americans don't even know, they dictate the policy that sends our best young men and women off to go fight and die in foreign battlefields. They make our taxes go up, and then they give us nothing back in return but more debt and more wars. And so I do think there is a growing hunger in this country to have a very basic and very simple agenda that says that we're not going to get involved in more foreign wars. We're not going to let foreign lobbies dictate our foreign policy, and we're going going to address the needs of the American people. And so that was the gist of what we were discussing there. Now, how that's going to look in the future, there's a lot more nuts and bolts work that needs to be done there because, as I think you understand, running as a third-party candidate is.
So here's what's going to actually end up happening is that they're going to take a few initial steps for this, and then it's all going to be a giant grift, and it's going to be nothing more than them taking donations, taking money from other people to fund their own lavish lifestyles, and then lo and behold, no third party. No third party, because these people are not built to serve others. These people are not built for a vision that helps people different or lower status or lower class than them. These people are built to enrich themselves, to make themselves more powerful. This ain't going to happen. This ain't going to happen. This is like finding Bigfoot. This shit ain't going to happen. Can you do a stream about ICE or something? I hate not knowing none of the people you're talking about. I feature that sometimes, but Hamzi, I got to cover the news as well.
Challenging, not impossible, but it is very challenging. But that's kind of the consensus that we came to, that the current system just simply doesn't work, and we have to find something new to save our country.
So speaking of our audience, we're actually asking our audience both on tyt.com and on our YouTube channel's post section, should Tucker Carlson, Joe Camp, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Tom Massey form an independent third party that is truly America first? Just yes or no. I'm curious what our audience is going to say about that. But to your point, Joe, let me skip ahead to graphic 6 here. Let me show you the favorable and unfavorable for the Republican and Democratic parties. They're actually very similar. It's 58-40 and 59-39 in the two different parties, nearly identical. And in the old days, it would have been 58% favorable, 40% unfavorable, but now it's reversed. It's 58% unfavorable for the Republicans and 59% unfavorable for the Democrats. So, and now 45% of voters are independents. They're larger than the Republican or the Democratic parties. Almost never talked about mainstream media. Mainstream media loves the fake fights of the uniparty and how they all somehow magically come to the same conclusion, as Joe pointed out there. But Joe, if you guys did this party, would it be just for the presidential elections, or could there be other seats that you guys are on for?
I think there definitely could be other seats. I think focusing though.
Again, this is really stupid that Cenk is giving these people a voice. I mean, it'd be one thing if he gave them this platform to talk about it, but you're treating it serious? Come on. This is about as likely as Elon Musk having a soul. Like this is not real. This is not based in reality.
Actually, on the executive branch is probably the most pressing issue, because the president has the most control over our foreign policy. All the other issues that the uniparty likes us to fight about, the president actually doesn't have a lot of unilateral authority over. When you start talking about the social issues that divide America, when you start talking about like the more local issues, you've got a lot of control at the state level for sure. But then you've also got to deal with the House and the Senate. This is why I think a lot of presidents do get wrapped around the axle with foreign policy, because anywhere else they want to work, especially in the domestic space, they have to get the consensus of the House, of the Senate, of the states, et cetera. But then when they go over to foreign policy, they're essentially the king of the world. And that's why the foreign lobbies and the military industrial complex spend so much money lobbying the president on his foreign policy. And so I think if we started with the executive branch with the presidential election in 2028, and we started forming a broad coalition that doesn't agree on everything, doesn't agree on social issues, doesn't agree on a lot of domestic issues, but we agreed we're done with the foreign wars, we're done with the foreign lobbying, we're going to work together to do what's right for the American people, I do think we'd have a real chance of putting the Republicans and the Democrats to a side and just focus on this issue. Because, every president says they're going to do all these different things on the domestic side. A lot of people on the MAGA base right now are complaining why President Trump's domestic policies haven't been addressed. And I can tell you why, because we've spent all of our time, money, and effort over on these wars in the Middle East. And it's been the same for multiple presidents over and over again. So I think starting with the presidential run in 2028, that broad coalition, and I think that broad coalition already exists. There was a lot of crossover between Bernie Sanders and between Donald Trump. I've had people point out that I voted for Bernie Sanders at one point in time. And they're like, but then you were a Trump guy. And I'm like, actually, do you realize how much similarity there was between what Bernie Sanders was saying and what Donald Trump was saying on the stump at the end of the day? Because they were both anti-establishment. They both wanted us out of the foreign wars. They wanted to put the American worker first. So I do think there's a lot of potential there. And I think that could eventually spiral down to other down ticket seats as well. But I think starting with the 2028 to ensure that we get out of the foreign wars is a good starting point.
Yeah, and obviously I think one of them meant it and the other one didn't, and the proof is a little.
So one thing about that is that being anti-war is going to be a very potent talking point, and Mehdi Hasan pointed this out as well when it came to Tucker Carlson. That Tucker Carlson was getting the interest of a lot of progressives and liberals who are anti-war, but it's like, you guys forget the part where he's a fucking Nazi. You just kind of forgave that overnight, right? Yeah, but Hassan Piker is saying, America deserved 9/11 and then apologizing for it right after. That's a bridge too far. But Tucker Carlson, like, literally supporting Nazis, literally supporting the January 6th terrorists, literally going to dine with Trump, a notorious pedophile, the best friend of Jeffrey Epstein, the number one client in the Epstein files. Yeah, you can forgive all that, but God forbid Hassan Piker have an opinion on Medicare for all. You can't get over that. Nope, can't get over that.
A little bit in the pudding, but that's water under the bridge. Now we're going to the future, and I've got some tough questions about that in a sec. But first, just a couple of quick ones here. Who called the meeting? Let's be honest, running a business means constantly putting out fires and trying to grow at the same time. You don't need more meetings, you don't need more red tape, you need capable people without the hiring headache. Upwork is a one-stop platform to find, hire, and pay expert freelancers across web and software development, data and analytics. You can browse search K.
House and hey, let's pick up the phone conversation. We'd all been texting each other for quite some time and having phone conversations or seeing each other in passing. We said, hey, let's pick a date. I don't remember exactly who that was. I think we all just decided, hey, Tucker's got a great place up in Maine, and if he'll have us, let's go up there. So we basically, between myself, Marjorie, and Thomas, we just kind of invited ourselves over to Tucker's house, and he's a gracious enough host that he fed us dinner and facilitated the conversation.
So was there any conversation about who would lead the party?
Not quite yet. I mean, we're going back and forth, and I'd say all of us at one point in time told Tucker he needs to run, and Tucker's been pretty public that he's not going to run.
Thank God for that.
So we all made our pitch to Tucker as to why he should run, and hopefully he wakes up one day and Tucker says he's going to run. I would fully support that. But right now it was mostly just on how we need to work to build a broader coalition, and then look at.
I mean, like, that alone shows you who. What else needs to be said? Like, that shows you who these people are. They're willing to align themselves with literal Nazis that believe conspiracy theories against Jewish people. And again, where's the anti? No one. Hassan Piker has given multiple speeches calling anti-Semitism the canary in the coal mine, right? He's spoken repeatedly about the dangers of conflating Israel with Judaism, and yet Tucker Carlson has promoted multiple conspiracy theories, including the Great Replacement Theory, a literal Nazi theory that pushes that Jews are sending immigrants here to replace the white working class. Where is the anti-Semitism outrage? Where the fuck is AIPAC on that, huh? Oh, that's right. They're helping him. They're aligned with him. Where the fuck is Jonathan Greenblatt of the Anti-Defamation League? Sorry, not the Apartheid Defense League. That's what it should be called. The Anti-Defamation League. Jonathan Greenblatt. Where the fuck is the outrage there? Where's James Carville to say, we just got so much god-dang anti-Semitism by Hassan Piker, and I need to do the same thing against Tucker Carlson, who's obviously a Nazi. We beat the Nazis in World War II, and now here he is, just spouting his anti-Semitic nonsense. What is that all about? We don't see that shit from James Carville, do we?
Is it feasible to actually do a third political party? Could we get on the ballot in all 50 states? Because I just remember the Kennedy campaign had some real issues with even getting ballot access just a couple of years ago. So I think we know conceptually where we're at in terms of, like, could we put together a movement? I think we really could, because I think there is a hunger for it in the country. But then once we get that movement established, would we be picked apart by procedure and not even be able to get someone on the ballot? Does it make more sense than to run as an insurgent candidate in one of the major political parties? That's the stuff that we're trying to figure out right now.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So, look, conventional wisdom is to get on the ballot in all 50 states, even if you were able to jump through all the bureaucratic hurdles, which I think that if you put enough effort and money behind it, you probably could, will take at least 10 to 20 million. These days, it's probably closer to 20 or beyond. So is the plan to raise that from if you guys do it, from the grassroots? Because on the left, it would be kind of obvious. Our insurgents are not just against AIPAC, but against all corporate PAC money. So I don't know if you guys discussed that at all about taking or not taking corporate PAC money and leading on grassroots or not.
We all know, especially, I've ran for Congress unsuccessfully, and then Thomas and Margie have been there. We know that the corporate PAC money, especially AIPAC, et cetera, that's how they get you. I mean, that is how the lobbies end up owning so many of our elected officials. So we all definitely recognize that there is a lot of power in the grassroots. We wouldn't have as much money as anyone in the establishment, but that's okay. We could use social media. There's platforms like yours right here I'm talking to you on. The Young Turks, Tucker's got a huge platform. I mean, Margie has a pretty huge platform. Thomas does now as well. So we think that nowadays, with the environment on social media, with unconventional media, we think that we could raise it all from the grassroots. And I think we would have to stick to that commitment, because the second you start taking the corporate PAC money, then, you get across the finish line. But what was it all for? You're not truly in charge anyways. So I think raising the money from the grassroots and then filling in the gaps in money with the tools of social media and having a legitimate grassroots campaign to get us over the finish line, as opposed to raising, $1 billion. That's the way we'd have to go to stay true to the movement.
So, Joe, any conversations about one of the toughest issues? How do you appeal to the left? Obviously, we've got some significant disagreements: LGBTQ rights, abortion, all the social issues that we've all been fighting over for the last, many decades, probably our whole lives. So, any strategy on how to get past that and appeal to the left?
I think it's, especially for the presidency, I think it is having a very, very simple platform, and it's acknowledging upfront, like, we are going to do.
I love that, the condescension. Well, those people that believe in equal rights and giving people health care and a living wage, we just got to dumb it down for them. We just got to make it extra simple for the simpletons. Fucking condescending prick.
Disagree on a lot of domestic policy and a lot of social issues. At the end of the day, the president can talk a lot about all those things, but he really doesn't have a lot of power. We do agree that we don't want Israel dictating our foreign policy.
What?
We don't want any more foreign wars. We don't want to have to run a massive empire all over the rest.
Basically, what he's saying is, yeah, we're going to do everything that Trump is doing with ICE and murdering Americans in the streets and kidnapping people and a secret police. We're just not going to go to war overseas. We're going to be actually more Hitler than Hitler. That's our goal here. That's what this motherfucker is trying to say.
Of the world. And so we build a broad coalition that says we agree on these things. And then from there, when we go to make any kind of decisions that are going to affect the divisive issues, that it's going to be more of a open discussion. And we're going to keep the presidency, the executive branch, focused on ensuring that we have the space, because we're not involved in all these different foreign wars. We have the space and we have the resources back here in America so that we can sort out all those other domestic issues relatively down ballot, essentially. So those other issues would be handled in the House, would be handled in the Senate, they'd be handled at the state level. Therefore, if you built this very, very simple platform, but a broad coalition, people could vote top ticket, for the whatever it is, the independent party that wants to keep us out of the foreign wars and stop AIPAC from calling all the shots. But then down ticket, yeah, if abortion's our number one issue as a Republican or as a Democrat, as a pro-life or as pro-choice, then that could affect how they're going to vote in the House or the Senate. I would even say, your educated voter is going to realize that abortion in particular is probably more of a state issue at the end of the day. But I think if we can just articulate what the president can,
which these guys have never respected. It's always states' rights when it's something that they want, right? But when it's something their opposition wants, then it's like, no, the feds call the shot. Feds call the shots. That's how it works.
Truly control in a unilateral fashion where we agree.
This is why I hate watching Cenk Uygur as an interviewer. As a commentariat, he's much better because he'll go on there and he'll get in people's faces and he won't back down and he'll say what needs to be said. He says some stupid shit, no doubt, but where is the challenge to this BS? You really think that he's being sincere here? Come on, Chad.
And we focus on that, because at the end of the day, I think every American right now who's been active politically, they should realize that when you're talking about the presidency, there is no policy but foreign policy. There's a lot of domestic things Obama wanted to do that those of us on the right were like, oh, he can't do that. It's going to be the end of the world. But then when he got into office, he was too busy overthrowing Syria and Libya and expanding the war in Afghanistan to really get any of that accomplished. Same thing with President Trump and this administration. There was a lot of things that MAGA and the right was really passionate about on the domestic end. They're not getting a lot of those things. What they are getting,
it's barely even half true, really, because Obama was saying that Syria would have a red line if they used, what was it, chemical weapons, I think it was, which they used, and Obama didn't do shit. So yeah, he overthrew the Syrian government. It had nothing to do with the people of Syria. Yeah, right. Okay, buddy.
Is another war in the Middle East. So at the end of the day, until we sort that out, all these other issues that MSNBC and Fox News want us yelling at each other about actually don't matter.
So there is one domestic issue that would matter a lot, and even if the president couldn't do something about it directly, he certainly could put an enormous amount of attention on it. How about getting money out of politics?
Men, I mean, I think that's the reason why these special interest groups like AIPAC have so much power, is because they can flood the zone of hundreds of millions of dollars that, an individual candidate simply can't raise. And then Americans don't understand why, regardless who they vote for, they get another foreign war, or our food is poisoned, or you pick the issue. There's just so much money in politics. That's going to be complicated because of, Supreme Court rulings. But I think if you are of the mind that a lot of my friends are in, what used to be MAGA or on the right, we understand that money is really what destroyed the MAGA movement. For lack of a better explanation or more in-depth explanation, it was the money.
Which is so funny, because I guarantee you, this fucking hack was saying that one of Trump's positive traits was, oh yeah, he's a businessman, he's a rich guy, he knows how things work. You can do. I guarantee you, this guy was yapping about that horse shit way back in the day, and now he's saying, but the problem is money, guys. The problem is money. Yeah, you were the problem because you supported the money. You supported the money over the people, and you're going to do the same goddamn thing with this long con of a third party that's never going to manifest.
Money from the donors that caused President Trump to get us involved in this disastrous war, and probably work against other agendas that he campaigned on as well. So I would agree that we need to figure out a way to get money out of the politics. Again, there's an issue there for Supreme Court ruling, but I think, again, if us and the left agree on that issue, that we would be better off having grassroots campaigns and having candidates actually have to get up in front of the people and articulate what their views are, as opposed to who can get the most money to run the most garbage AI slop ads, that our country would be in a much better spot.
Yeah, money also destroyed the Democratic Party, and that's why it's got the disapproval ratings that it does, because they never do anything, because the corporations tell them not to do anything. And then foreign governments tell them, no, focus on us instead of your own citizens, and they listen. Money talks, and so that's been a huge problem. All right, final question. It's a tough one. So what happens to J.D. Vance in this equation?
I mean, look, I like JD. He's in a tough spot. I mean, his name's on the ticket, and he has had to go along with a lot of what's taken place in this administration. And look, at the end of the day, he is going to have to answer to a lot of those same donors because he was on the ticket. And so unless he changes things drastically, which I don't even know if he has the power to do at this point, he's still going to be at the mercy of a lot of the people that are still pulling the strings within the Republican Party. And I think this is just some of the trap of the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, because if you lock us into this two-party system, you basically have to pick your side, and then you have to go down with the ship, and that's the position that JD's in right now, because President Trump put the ship on the heading towards the iceberg, for lack of a better metaphor. So look, I personally like JD. I think he, by and large, has tried to do the right thing in this, but again, he's had to get out there and he's had to advocate for this war, and so he is still associated with it, and this war is going to unfortunately, this war is going to have horrible ramifications. To what degree, we fully don't know. We're already starting to feel a lot of those effects. And so it's going to be very hard for, J.D. Vance or anybody else who stayed in the administration to come back out in 2028 and say, trust me this time, guys. Because I just don't think that that's going to be a compelling message to a lot of the first-time Trump voters, to the groundswell that President Trump got in 2024 that had him win the popular vote and the Electoral College. people aren't going to go with retread promises like, no, I mean it this time. I was kind of against that stuff, but this time you can trust me. I just, even with, a guy like Vance, who I like, I just don't think that that's feasible in 2028.
Interesting. So it sounds like you guys have kind of given up on JD Vance at this point.
I know all of us still personally like him, and I know he's trying to do the right thing. So I wouldn't say we fully gave up on him. He's a captive of the two-party system right now, and he's unfortunately a captive of
the dude who sold out his own wife for anti-immigrant bigotry is a good person. Yeah, if you're willing to sell out your own wife, same way with this Bernie Moreno guy who's too much of a coward to confront Max Miller. Like, these are not good people. And it makes sense that a bad person like fucking Joe Kent would have tastes for other bad people.
What MAGA has become. So, that's just kind of where we're at.
Fucking stupid. Jesus. It's just sometimes it's so hopeless. So, this guy has a very good point in, I don't even know if I can, but I'm going to try it. He's saying this is psychotic behavior. It's not just malignant narcissism and dementia. He has lost contact with the objective world and expects everyone to live in his alternate reality with him. It's all manufactured by his own psyche, and no amount of evidence will change it. This is a terrified inner psyche constructing a protective world. He's insane and existentially dangerous. Look at this. If you tried to read this... This is making my eyes bleed. It's like that scene in Beetlejuice where she's doing her ghost face and her eyes like roll upwards and she pops them into the back of her head to come out her mouth. Like that's... I'm not even going to try. Look at this shit. This is insane. He said all of this in apparently a span of 7 minutes. He's insane. He's just insane. There's no other way to describe it. The fucking syphilis brain from all the children he raped has gotten to his head. So More Perfect Union, I can't recommend them enough. Definitely give them a watch and a follow. BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, and other big financial firms are pushing a bill that would let banks invest your retirement savings into crypto. The Clarity Act would merge the crypto economy with the real one, except crypto would barely be regulated and enable the Trump family to keep raking in billions. So this is just another scam. This is a backdoor for the Trump regime to enrich themselves off the back of the working class who are going to be left holding the bag yet again.
BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, and a few of the worst other people you know are pushing to connect cryptocurrency into the real economy. And even if you're not invested in crypto, you should still be worried. I just went to a Senate hearing about cryptocurrency to try and understand this story. The hearing was all about a new bill that the crypto industry really wants to pass. Here's what the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, claims the bill will do.
This bill would strengthen power for law enforcement. It would bring new consumer protections. And you have to remember, the status quo is that we don't have any federal laws protecting consumers or helping this industry get built in the United States.
There's just one problem. This and all their other arguments are a smokescreen. The bill doesn't really do any of this. It doesn't protect crypto investors and consumers. It just pretends to. Think about the crypto economy and the real economy like two mostly separate buildings. Crypto is in its casino over here. If you want to go gamble on speculative dog-themed crypto coins, you can. But there's a firewall between the casino and the real economy. This bill tears down the wall. It allows traditional banks and Wall Street to hold and invest in cryptocurrency. So we're connecting the crypto economy to the real economy directly, which means the institutions that have your bank account, your savings, your 401k can invest in crypto.
And again, these crypto coins are in unbelievably unstable. And there was just I watched the John Oliver bit about crypto and the Trump meme coin or whatever the fuck it was. They made a shitload of money, and then everyone else was stuck owing like $3.1 billion or some kind of shit. That's an insane figure. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Everyone with money in the 401k, everyone with any kind of money in an investment firm, anyone with any kind of money in a pension, in a retirement fund, even our own taxpayer dollars, which the governments, do gamble in these markets on bonds and stocks and whatnot, they're going to start investing in this. And then more state governments, local governments, federal governments, well, not federal governments, plural, but the federal government, are just going to go belly up, and there's going to be nothing left over for the working class. You're not going to have health care. You're not going to have food. You're not going to have fucking infrastructure. You're not going to have schools. But the billionaires are going to be in their private, walled-in mansions, being able to take their fucking helicopters and jetpacks to and from work, and then taking their third yacht, mega yacht, out, while we're stuck around a fucking barrel with a fire in it trying to warm our hands. That's the future that these pedophile Epstein-class crypto people want.
Since we're connecting the two economies in this significant way, you might be wondering, does the bill increase regulation and create a bunch of new protections for average Americans? And the answer, of course, is no. It still allows people to create fake, tokenized versions of stock of American companies without their permission and without any investor protections. A shadow stock market, if you will. It still allows the president and his family to continue making billions of dollars in crypto from unwitting investors and foreign actors. And now they even get to choose their own regulator. Normally, cryptocurrency enforcement has fallen to the Securities and Exchange Commission. They're big, they're detail-oriented, and strict. But now, the crypto industry wants to shift most of that power to the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, a tiny agency, a few hundred employees and shrinking, at a time when they will apparently be responsible for regulating cryptocurrency.
I mean, this is so typical. You know, this is just classic Republican shit. Deregulate everything. The agencies are supposed to protect consumers from getting fucked over, and then allow these bad actors to just go buck fucking wild.
And all prediction markets, both of which are growing quickly. Now, what happens when an industry is allowed to write its own rules, to dictate which federal agencies investigate and enforce those rules, to run wild, creating speculative bubbles that are connected to the economy we all rely on? Is there any history of this that we can point to?
The signs were everywhere, but now it's official, we are...
Oh, that's good. Yeah, they're tying it up to the housing bubble. Oh man, this is the Big Short promotion. This is brilliant.
In a recession.
Yeah.
More Perfect Union is really good stuff. Really good stuff. They're doing it for here as well.
We found one that's continued to.
Trump is pushing for the AI data center takeover. Remember, even Greg Abbott is saying, hold the fucking horse. Center takeover of America while he stands personally to profit from it. We dug through Trump's financial disclosures, discovered that he secretly bought up, well...
Why does Trump want to build data centers so bad? We found one reason nobody's talking about. We all know Trump has invested millions in the same big tech companies that are going all in on the AI boom, and that he would never want to disappoint his billionaire tech donors. But I've been digging through his recent financial disclosures, and I found another stealthier reason why Trump might be obsessed with data centers. For the last 2 years, Trump has been quietly buying up millions in AI industry stealth buys. These are the essential companies that are literally building out the AI boom. These companies offer specialized construction skills, they sell water cooling technologies, and they supply the fiber optics that data centers need to work. We found that at the end of last year, Trump had up to $25 million invested in just a handful of these public firms, all while his administration has continued to roll out even more pro-AI and pro-data.
So he's investing in the companies that build the data centers, right? It's like kind of saying, like, oh, we're going to invest in, we're going to expand our infrastructure. We're going to build tens of thousands of miles of light rail through across the country, and then the motherfucker is investing in steel that they would need to build those trains and rails.
Center policy. This includes firms like Amphenol, a leading picks and shovels supplier for AI data centers. This year alone, Trump has bought and sold up to $2.78 million in stock, and their stock has nearly doubled in value since he took office. Or take Arista Networks, which designs software for hyperscale data center systems. Last year, Trump disclosed owning up to $1.3 million in their stock. This year, he's bought and sold up to $1.6 million more. Or Trane, a company that supplies industrial...
What's interesting is these are actually kind of small amounts, all things considered. Considering some of the other investments he's made, I mean, they're very dispersed, but they're still small amounts. I'm wondering why they're not bigger amounts.
Cooling systems for data centers. Trump owned nearly $1 million in their stock last year, and he traded another $500,000 so far this year.
Those are
this
small
pattern
amounts
also follows for AECOM, Yes, the same engineering company that did Trump's ballroom also does hyperscale data centers. Or for Texas Instruments. Or Lind PLC, a chemicals company that creates fabrication materials needed for data centers. Rinse and repeat for dozens of others. As Trump has made massive trades on these data center suppliers, he's also directed his federal agencies to ease federal permitting for data center construction. This includes allowing...
This is total self-enrichment. It's just total, pure fucking corruption. And again, if the Democrats could make this a fucking message, like, MAGA, you guys ain't getting any of this shit. You're still broke-ass bitches in your fucking wife-beaters stained shirt with fucking Budweiser. And meanwhile, Trump is having steak and lobster dinners every fucking night, and you got top ramen. Like, you guys are getting fucked too.
Data centers to build their own gas-fired power plants and to connect to the grid faster, to skip environmental regulations around clean air and clean water, and to be exempted from many of the same tech-facing tariffs that other industries have to pay. If you really want to understand the AI boom, you have to follow the money, and the money leads directly back to Donald Trump, not just to his donors, but to the president's own financial disclosures.
Telling you, man, more perfect union is better and better stuff. I don't know how they haven't gotten some fucking Pulitzers or some shit right now. Now, this is very interesting also that, so this is Max Miller. This is the wife beater that broke his 2-year-old's collarbone, and also a pedophile supporter that's roots for President Trump, the rapist and the molester in chief. So he's cornering Max Miller on the stuff about his ex-wife, and this is rare. You normally only see Tapper have this kind of energy for people who say free fucking Gaza. So this is interesting.
Because there is a police report from the suspected child abuse incident in February involving your daughter, and that report details that the child protection team says that your child had a right clavicle fracture and, quote, a bruise that accompanies the injury that appears to be in a handprint and appears to have been inflicted, unquote. Now, your ex-wife stated to police that your child told her in the days leading up to the discovery of the injury, quote, "Daddy, kill you." And your ex-wife also said your child had said, "Daddy angry and Daddy's house is scary." Now, according to your wife, your daughter articulated these statements to Children and Family
keep in mind
Services.
this kid is 2 years old.
So can you explain why your child may have said those things?
Jake, I wish you could talk to my beautiful baby girl. She can't string together sentences like that. She's 2.5 years old. She doesn't have the ability to articulate any of what you just said.
Is he checking?
That isn't.
He's reading some shit. He's reading a fucking teleprompter or something.
Entire fabrication of the truth.
Look at his eyes. He's reading a teleprompter. Video,
actual document.
Motherfucker can't even defend himself. He's literally got to have like a fucking paralegal lawyer or some shit tell him what to say, and even when the lawyer is telling him what to say, his lawyer is bad.
But didn't you just tell me that
you
just told me that she had said that she was scared to go to mommy's house?
She is, and I have video of it.
But now you're saying that she's not capable of saying, "Daddy, kill you"? I mean, it seems like she's either able to say one but not the other.
Jake, that
doesn't make sense.
Jake, to be...
Oh, got his ass. You really rarely see this side of Jake Tapper. To be fair, I have seen him for other men accused of domestic violence, so I think him personally, this does strike home. But normally it's only, like, he'll give softball interviews for Zionists. He'll literally lick Trump's toes and say, "But sir, I'm doing everything that I can to help you." And then, you know, people saying free Gaza, he's like, "Why are you Nazis?" It's fucking insane.
Very direct. This is incredibly disturbing. I am not going to my child to say, "Daddy, kill you." You have to look at the timing of everything that is taking place.
That doesn't answer the question.
What about due process? I have already been through these investigations, and I know that
Look,
I've
he's
said that
reading
now
some
3
shit here.
times,
He's
and we're kind of
100%
just
reading
blowing
something.
past this. But these are...
See, when his eyes go down, it's not just to, like, look down and think. His eyes are, like, pointing down and then reading left to right. Watch.
Individuals who do their jobs to protect kids, and the main job of the court and the main job of Child Protective Family Services and the main job of our judge who has been appointed to our divorce case is to make sure that our daughter is safe. And every single one of those individuals has agreed with me. I have full shared...
He didn't do it there, but look, watch.
Say, "Daddy, kill you." You have to look at the timing of it.
Like she's either able to say one but not the other. That doesn't make sense.
Jake, to be very direct,
he had to reset
this
there.
is incredibly disturbing. I am not going to my child to say, Daddy, kill you. You have to look at the timing of everything that is taking place, right? What about due process?
He's like going off
have
script
already
here.
been
Yeah,
through
see
these
there, look.
investigations,
He's
and I
looking
know
down.
that
He's
I've
reading.
said that now 3 times, and we're kind of just blowing
Now he's
past
back
this.
up. Now he's back
These
down
are
reading. So he's like getting the
individuals who do their
details
jobs to
of it, like
protect
practice
kids,
talking points.
and the main job.
He did it even more back here.
Any
See,
of
look.
what you just said.
He looks down,
That
reads.
an entire fabrication of the truth.
Look, 100%. I've done enough like reading before camera, you know, for commercial auditions. That's exactly what he's doing. He's got someone there with like a teleprompter that's typing up shit for him to say, and he's going down, glancing at it, going back up. He's 100% reading some shit here. Why not just have some fucking earpiece in, dude? Mamdani, the GOAT, still doing it. Under Mayor Mamdani, New York City just recorded its safest first 7 months of a year in history and its safest July ever. In July, major crime dropped 13%, murder dropped 32%, robberies dropped 15%, vehicle thefts dropped 25%. Democratic mayors are putting public safety first. 2 things on this. One, it's fucking hilarious that the Democrats, I don't know if these people are actually affiliated with the Democratic Party. Looks like it because they're talking about Chair Ken Martin. But it's funny how the Democratic Party shunned Mayor Mamdani, and now they're yapping as if they're his, like, this is our baby boy. We love him. We love him very much. This is Zoran. And then the world is like, I would like to see the baby. Ooh. And the second thing is, I was promised a fucking New York bloodbath. You know, I'm disappointed. I was hoping New York City would become Gotham City, okay? I was hoping that finally, after years of seeing superheroes on screen, Mayor Mamdani's election would create such an unsafe New York City that we would finally see a billionaire become Batman. Mamdani robbed us of Batman, you guys. He robbed us of Batman. Vote him out. Vote him out. That's my rant. Clip that. All right, so now we cover the mega pedos of the day. The Mississippi foster care system has grossly failed its safety evaluation, meaning just 22 out of 107 safety standards. The children in the state's care experience abuse at more than twice the average rate. And if I recall correct, this is Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves. Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like a kid diddler. So, what's scary is this guy actually looks like some people in my very far extended family. Like the whole farm boy inbred shit with the goddamn Dumb and Dumber haircut. Looks like he went to preschool and then learned, or not preschool, Bible study, and learned how best to get away with diddling other kids there because he was the kid that got diddled. You know, that's what this dude looks like. Moving on from that, a New York Trump supporter and self-described Republican candidate, Sash Tharan Balasingham, was arrested in June after repeated highly specific threats to assassinate Bernie Sanders and AOC. U.S. Capitol Police and U.S. Marshal Service jointly tracked him. Threats on social media and crisis lines detailed plans to buy firearms across state lines and travel to lawmakers' homes. He was taken into custody in New York without incident. The case is with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. I wonder what's going to happen to that. Oops, I dropped the file in the sewer. Dang, I guess we gotta let him go. He declared himself as a Republican candidate on TikTok, posting, I am running against Richie Torres, rocking a red Make America Great Again hat. One post tagging a gun store called Old Glory Guns and Ammo in Greenfield, New Hampshire. Yeah, that's definitely not going to get you on a watch list or anything. Yeah, real smart. Balasingham wrote, going to kill communist U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders. Bitch, your last name is Balasingham. What the fuck do you think these people think of you? This is a Looney Tunes guy who, this is proximity and power, right? You see this, and this has happened in, you know, racist regime after racist regime, is the targets of the racist regimes want to ally themselves with the racists because proximity to power, they hope, gives them safety. And the thing is, for a time, it does, because those fascist regimes do need their, you know, their tokens. They need their racism shields. They can be like, nope, shield activated. Look, here's Enrique Tarrio. Look, here's Balasingham, right? They need that. But then at some point, unless there is real change in those countries, those fascist regimes gain power and gain power and gain power, and we see over and over and over again. We have seen it time and time again, especially in Nazi Germany. Plenty of Jews did this. They tried to ally themselves with Adolf Hitler, and they ended up getting either deported or just sent to the chambers anyways. That's exactly what would happen to this motherfucker. Dude, your last name is Balasinkum. You think you're not going to get subject to the fucking Muslim ban? Motherfucker probably isn't even Muslim, doesn't even have a Muslim-sounding name. That ain't going to stop them. That ain't gonna fucking stop them. You think your face? Oh my God! Holy Jesus Christ, bro, is Bigfoot. Look at this sumbitch. Holy crap! He is the missing link. My God. But like, bro, you look like this, and you think that you're not gonna get seen by ICE? You think they're just gonna not ask for your ID? Going to kill communist U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders. He is not fun. He needs to be killed. Other posts railed against socialism, commies, single payer, and figures like Zoran Mamdani while praising free market ideas and idolizing Milton Friedman and Margaret Thatcher. So a Republican candidate who is suffering from socialist derangement syndrome openly threatened to kill progressive lawmakers, and it got basically zero mainstream media coverage. Let that sink in. A MAGA candidate threatened two of the most influential Democrats, not a peep. Imagine if a Democratic Socialist candidate had posted a threat to kill a Republican. There would be wall-to-wall coverage all over mainstream media lasting weeks. And MAGA, they wouldn't shut up about it for years. This should outrage us all. Make sure this case finally gets the much needed attention it deserves. I mean, it's from the Tampa Bay Free Press. I don't know what that link is, but like, this isn't getting covered in the mainstream media. It's happened again and again that these are small local outlets that are covering these things. Corporate media ain't covering it. But again, if this had been a trans person, if this had been a liberal Muslim, if this had been a woman, this shit would be going viral on the right. And you just don't see this kind of coverage. Like, respectfully, I don't even see this kind of coverage from Hassan Piker. Like, I know that he does dabble in this stuff every now and then, but like, this is why I want to make this such a focus of my streams, because this shit does not get talked about enough. The MAGA pedo party is a party of terrorists. Look at this guy. This is why any single time that you see someone spouting this bullshit about communism, about socialism, hating single payer, and shit like that, it's very clear that those are red flags towards violence. Because it happens over and over and over again. And also, same thing here. 40-year-old Kyle John Argyle, Jesus Christ, of course he has three names, of Lowndes County, Alabama, proud Trump supporter and neo-Confederate who shared a hunting permit meme saying it's open season to kill transgender people. He was just arrested on July 30th and charged with 2 counts of first-degree sexual abuse, second-degree sexual abuse, and sexual abuse of a child less than 12. Again, these people who come in yapping in my chat about hating on transgender people, you know, they are first to be Nuremberg. I'm not even kidding. Every single person that yaps about this kind of shit, yaps about commies, yaps about socialism, they are truly the greatest risk to safety in this country, because these people are either raping kids, or they're trying to become a murderer, or they're a pedophile governor who's making the state more inclined to raise people like this. The sheriff's office said the victim reported years of abuse at the hands of this monster. Argyle is held in Lowndes County Jail on a $100,000 bond. Now, Keith, the Epstein women talked about this. They were like, this is the exact age some of them were the victims from, right? They talked about these exact same experiences, and yet because Trump was a billionaire with a profile, with political connections, and they were able to get away with it. This guy just simply wasn't, only because he's a nobody. But also, because he's a nobody, nobody's fucking talking about it. That's the way it goes. He's a nobody, so nobody's talking about it, and then he's a somebody, so nobody will talk about it. This is what society should be like. It shouldn't have gone on for years, but this pedophile did a crime, he was caught, and he was arrested. No more safe spaces for MAGA pedophiles, including Donald Trump. Now, we know why I want a society talking about those scary trans people and not degenerates like him. This is the same Carl Argyle who posted a Confederate flag pride meme, an Antifa hunting permit, meme saying it's open season to kill all 58 genders. Hold on. What's wrong with this stream? Okay, sorry. Okay, it's working. To kill all 58 genders, a Bible verse calling cross-dressing an abomination, and a meme saying Trump should be carved into Mount Rushmore alongside Abe Lincoln and George Washington. Just another day in the twisted mind of a Trump supporter. And these are not one-offs. Look at this shit. Look how much more this happens. Donald Beamish, the Fort Wayne, Indiana Trump supporter who spent years posting Confederate flag content, nationalist content, ranting about child rapers, again, and hating on gay people online, was just sentenced to 20 years for child molesting. Always the MAGAs who project the most. He was originally charged with 5 counts after 2 children came forward. He told both to stay quiet. Last month, he pled guilty to 2 counts, 10 years each, back to back. Other 3 charges dropped. Why the fuck were the 3 charges dropped? This is horse shit. This motherfucker should be in jail for life. Also, what happened to his fucking face? Bro looks like he's turning into a Last of Us, like, mushroom zombie. The fuck is that shit? These are not one-offs. Texas neo-Confederate Trevor, oh my god, Jesus. He's so ugly he looks like he's AI, you know? It's like ChatGPT, show me a picture of an ugly motherfucker. Oh my god, and he's bald here? Oh my god, look at this motherfucker. Holy shit. He is a science experiment gone wrong. This is like a test tube baby that sat out in the sun for too long, you know, and then went to the IVF. What the fuck happened here? Oh my god, what do his parents look like? Jesus Christ. Texas neo-Confederate Trevor Coddington, of course his name is Coddington. What kind of a fucking name is that? Has been arrested in Brown County after allegedly trying to meet a 10-year-old and 13-year-old in a sting. He's been charged with possession of child sex abuse material. $20,000 bond. Again, because he's a fucking nobody, he got away with it. How many fucking rich people do you think do exactly this and are able to buy off the feds, right? Or they're able to pressure the political system to then fire those judges. That's what we're seeing right now, right? Look at what's his name? The guy at the ICC that got ousted for bringing charges against Netanyahu. Total fake charges against him, right? And it's time and time again. Letitia James tried to oust her for bringing charges against Trump. God forbid she do her fucking job. It's this because they're again. If you rape children and you're a nobody, nobody talks about it. If you rape children and you're somebody, nobody talks about it. That's what happens here. 2-tier justice system. Today's MAGA Christian pedophiles. Benjamin Wilkes, a Cortland, Mississippi man, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for transporting child sex abuse material using social media applications. Benjamin Wilkes, 31, a former kindergarten assistant, sought out images and videos of children as young as 4 years old engaging in sexual conduct, then stored these. Jesus Christ. Sexual content, then stored those oh, God. Then stored those images and videos in a social media cloud for ease of access. Wilkes also had a number of upskirt images of children he was entrusted with it from his church community. Jesus fucking Christ. Multiple community members wrote letters of support for Benjamin. What? In announcing the sentence, Senior District Judge Michael P. Mills noted that if the community won't protect its children, the government has to. In addition to 20 years imprisonment, Wilkes will serve 10 years of supervised release to be required to register as a sex offender where he lives, works, or is a student. Okay, so first of all, whoever the fuck these people are writing letters of support, fucking check their hard drives. I'm not even kidding. A restraining order on every single one of them against children within a 500-yard radius. And I'm sorry, if that inconveniences your life, maybe don't support a pedophile. They're definitely Republican, because if they would write a letter for this guy, they would 100% vote for a pedophile. That's what this is. These are just Trumpers, right, writing in favor of him because they're also Trumpers and they're also child rapists. It goes full circle every single time. Q9C9P, welcome. Anyway, this is fucking disturbing shit, so... Oh, Christ almighty. That's one hell of an AI image. Alright, let's go on to some fun shit. If it'll load. It's so fucking mean, because I know that this shit hurts, obviously. But Jesus, it's like that lady that did the grape stomps, right, and then fell off out of camera and is just screaming bloody murder. It's so funny. I followed just for the flag. Thank you. The audio of the video is double your voice. Well, that's interesting. Let me check the stream real quick. Let me check the stream real quick. Let me check the stream real quick. Oh shit, you're right. Let me check the stream real quick. Oh shit, you're right. Let me check the stream real quick. Where is that coming from? I'm sorry, Q9C9P. You're catching me when I'm having a lot of... It blew your headphones? Fuck, I'm sorry, dude. I'm having a lot of... They updated OBS, so I had to change everything. And now my shit is totally borked. I'm hoping to have this fixed next time I do a stream. You're from Italy? Okay, cool. Hopefully, when I'm back next week, I'll have this fixed. I really don't know. Jesus. And the thing is, I don't hear it on my end. Well, I guess there if I check the actual stream I do, but I don't see it on... it's so frustrating. Okay, let's just get through this. I'm almost done anyways. Here's some more funny stuff. I'll let you off easy with these funny stuffs.
Okay, so the combination is going to be probably down here, right?
Came a fucking seizure? Lower when you play video. You're from the States? Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the U.S. Yeah, the poor guy had to get his asthma medicine.
Oh, yes. Careful, Austin. He's real close left.
Damn! You the Oh!
It's one of my favorite clips. I really want to know what game this is.
Alright, so what do I do now?
I don't know.
Shit, who's gonna go first? Who's gonna go first, Grandma? Come on, Grandma. Come on.
Ring around the rosy with Grandma. Grandma's pretty spry for an 80-year-old woman. 80-year-old corpse.
Open this door. We gotta go in the attic.
Come here.
She can't go, bitch! Why you...
For the record, that is an absolutely terrifying experience when you're in a game, a scary game no less, and you're trying to get out of a room and motherfucker blocks you from leaving and you're the one closest to the monster, the ghost or whatever. Always scares the fuck out of me. It frequently scares a fart out of me as well.
Stand in the door, you fat fuck!
Fuck you!
Hey, check the rooms. I'm going down. Check the rooms. Alright, go down.
How are you? I don't even know how the dude is able to scream like that, honestly. All right, last one, and then I'm done.
I got this!
I got this!
Woo, let's go, baby! I got this!
I got this!
Sorry, Q9.
Oh, yeah!
Next time.
Oh, shit!
All right, well, if the audio's too fucked up, I'm just going to call it. Thanks again.